EA Sports. It's in the game.
Remember when this was one of the most exciting things you could see on your TV? The guy would say the thing and then Tiger would come out and do some crazy golf shenanigans, or maybe Ray Lewis would call you a pussy and tell you to go tackle something. There was a time when sports games were awesome. And before I go any further, I know my regular viewers are probably thinking one of two things. A, these cars look really weird. What game is this? Or B, Sam, why the hell are you talking about sports games? When I was a kid, I played heaps, and as the years have rolled on, I've kind of just played them less and less and less. And I've had a couple of experiences recently that made me go like, what the fuck happened? We used to just have so much choice in this genre. There wasn't only one American football game you could play. How long have you been standing there? How are you holding my microphone?
You really can't be talking about football, son. You're Australian, mate.
You're meant to be American. Your accent is questionable.
The two American accents in my repertoire are a stone surfer dude or a vaguely Texan high school football coach, so this is what you're getting.
Look, if you don't want me talking about American sports, I've got cricket instead. Is that okay? Fuck!
Hello.
How did you get it? I think you'll find cricket is English, my boy. How have you got my microphone? I nicked it in that split second when you let your guard down. What? And I'd do it again. Goodbye. Hey, if you don't like this NBA game, you can play this NBA game instead. You don't like that football game, play that football game. You don't like that soccer, it's football, soccer for American fans, just football for my European, It wasn't even just a choice between which sim you liked best. Do you want to play a sim at all? Do you want to do a more arcadey take on this stuff? Do you want to take this all the way to Crazy Town and play like a Sonic or a Mario game? Here's a Goomba playing baseball. How he's holding that bat, I'm unsure. Did anyone else play the absolute bejesus out of NHL hits? Oh my God, I killed that guy. He's okay. I definitely think that being on fire would inhibit your performance rather than enhance it. If there's any sports scientists watching this, can you please let me know below the effects of immolation on ice hockey skills, please? These choices came from competition. There were so many developers making so many different titles, and it created this sense that everyone had to put out the best product they possibly could because they needed to. They were incentivized to try to impress you. Remember when we had Madden 2005 and NFL 2K5, and they were both amazing in different ways? Madden 2005 was so packed with an amazing franchise mode. The hit stick had arrived. Then you had NFL 2K5 that was working its ass off to make this seem like such an incredible TV presentation. And now almost 2 decades later, without any real competition, Madden has just slid and slid into the sorry, jumbled mess of awful menus.
While a player just stands there for some reason. He's just standing there.
And microtransactions.
Claim your Play Pro edition. What the fuck? I already bought the game! And now the first thing that you see when you press start is, you got the game? Well, you didn't get the game. You need to get the game.
What are we running on the 5th year now that the Madden community is seriously unhappy with their game?
We'll probably get another decade of buggy Madden games that still aren't as deep or as polished as a PS2 game. We'll still be talking about NFL 2K5, all for IGN to call each Madden game a step in the right direction.
And this is just what they have to put up with because they've got no choice. If you want to play an American football game, you play Madden and you just have to ignore the fact that they're constantly trying to nickel and dime you and that they've removed all these modes from the past. Remember when they used to do midnight launches for Madden? People would be lined up around the block, and now it's such a sad shadow of its former self. I'm actually kind of happy that EA uncoupled from FIFA because the FIFA games had been spinning their wheels for ages, and finally at long last this year, it kind of feels like they had something to prove, and it's resulted in a game that actually feels a little bit different to the previous cajillion entries. I feel like a lot of the other sports in this genre need something like this at the moment. They need a bit of a kick up the arse.
How? Stop that!
There was something really charming about sports games from this era because we didn't have the technology yet to make neck veins pop out or make Messi's hair floppy. I look back at the early Tiger Woods games and go, Tiger, you jaggy as fuck, but it's impressive that they tried to smush your face into this game. It's cool that I can play as you. You go back and play these early FIFAs, there's something really weird about the player dimensions, like the arms and legs are a little too short and the heads are a bit too big, so they kind of look like little kids running around. Anytime someone falls over like this, it's kind of adorable. But at the same time, this was 2002, and I looked at Old Trafford in this game, and I was like, fuck. holy shit. And I saw David Beckham's photo like smushed across a horrible texture, and at the time it blew my mind. It's that phenomenon I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to, where when you're a kid and you saw a game that didn't look real, your imagination filled in the blanks. So when you were presented with this, in your mind, it was just amazing. It's like when we saw Mario 64 for the first time. This is exactly how I always pictured Mario looking. You look at it now, it's like dudes made of paper mache and crumpled up tissue paper, but it doesn't make it any less impressive. I look back at Virtua Tennis 2009, why haven't we been able to make animations that look this close to the real thing since? Don't get me wrong, if you look at anything other than these players waiting to return serve or swinging their rackets, it's fucking atrocious. And also Federer kind of looks like a zombie, but I mean, like, this is him waiting to return serve. I feel like when sports games come out now, we just expect everything to look real. When the show games came out on this current generation of consoles, these games look fucking amazing for sure, but the show's been looking amazing for a really long time, and it was doing crazy things on the previous consoles. So now when the games come out and they just incrementally look a little bit better than they did before, it's like, I don't know. There's a real law of diminishing returns happening with modern sports games. These guys are from FIFA 17 and they look pretty real to me. The players in the NBA 2K games have been looking amazing for a while now. And weirdly, I feel like we've taken a step backwards this year. Are these the best faces you could put on the classic Lakers team that's in there to celebrate Kobe Bryant? Speaking of NBA 2K24, let's dive into what actually made me want to make this video in the first place, which is NBA 2K24. I launched it for the first time the other day because I've had a really good time in the NBA 2K career modes in the past. So I opened the game and straight away, hey, enter your date of birth. That's weird, but okay. And then it gets me to agree to the privacy policy, and already within like 30 seconds, I feel more like I'm doing my taxes than playing a basketball game. Go into the main menu. The very first thing I see covering the entire screen is this massive ad. There's also a prompt here to make the purchase, but no prompt to exit this box. I just intuitively had to know to press B to exit this. If I was a piece of shit executive at a video game company, I'd think that this is probably a pretty good way to trick kids into pressing the purchase button. Anyway, I exited out of that and I went up to the career mode and it says you can't do this because you can't access content other people have made. What other people? By content other people have made, do you mean the people at 2K Sports? Turns out I let the upper tier of my Xbox Live access lapse. I was a bit over it, so I thought, you know what? I made a really cool basketball Sam in NBA 2K20. I'll just jump back into that, play that career mode instead. That'll wet my basketball whistle. Sorry, the servers for this game have been taken down. You can't play the single player career anymore. But this is the single player. And then I remembered for like the last 7 or 8 years, the NBA 2K games have jam-packed their career modes with XP boosters and microtransactions and all sorts of yucky shit.
2K decided to take this shit show to the next level and base every single thing you do around buying VC.
Is this not ridiculous? A season fucking pass in a fully priced game as if it's fucking Apex Legends with pointless fucking rewards and XP boosters and level skips? When is this shit gonna stop?
And I thought, oh, from the perspective of 2K Sports, there's no point allowing you to play the career mode in this if there's no way for you to give them more money for microtransactions. So when the server goes down, the career mode goes down, I'm never ever gonna get to see the sick little basketball Sam I made for that game ever again. Oh, there he is. You can go now. Get out of here. Get out of here. So that was my experience playing. Get out of here. Jesus Christ. So those were my attempts to play the career modes in NBA 2K24 and then NBA 2K20. And I was like,
Screw this!
and I launched PGA Tour 2006 and I played that for like 3 hours. At some point, I feel like we ran out of gameplay innovations. Remember back when you saw the hit stick or the first time you swung your golf club with the right stick instead of clicking a button 3 times like a fucking caveman? Or in FIFA 2005 where the ball was suddenly its own physical object for the first time. And yeah, I know Pro Evolution had been doing this for a couple of years before that, but it's good job FIFA for catching up. I guess I kind of feel bad for developers because at some point you kind of have to make that switch from saying like, oh, this year we've implemented a new physics system that you probably won't notice, or new AI awareness that you probably won't notice before people start to go, has this like actually changed at all? Are you just lying to me? There's only so many times that you can do that before you have to start shifting to saying, look at these uniforms, look at how floppy Messi's hair is, realistic sweat buildup during games. Thank God we moved past the sweat stuff in Virtua Tennis 4 because I think the less said about what this looks like, the better. I think the game that probably actually best demonstrates my frustrations with modern sports games is PGA Tour 2K23. See, I really like this game. I think it looks incredible. I think the gameplay is really fun and intuitive. The single player career mode is admittedly extremely repetitive, but the gameplay is so fun that I just keep kind of trucking through it. But every single time I return to a menu, it reminds me that I'm not getting the full experience because I haven't purchased the starter pack. Or it's like, hey, you sure you don't want to buy some of this or buy some of that? I just want to play golf. It's just so at odds with everything else going on here. I've always really loved golf games because they're so relaxing. If I've had a stressful day at work, I can cruise around the golf course and hear a little and that one will be just fine. You get that in 2K23 and then you go back into the menus and the music's like, you want to buy something? You want to buy something? Fuck off! Don't get me wrong, I get it. I know budgets are in space, but there's got to be a better way than this.
Not like this.
I'm not the guy with the answers. I don't know how to fix it. And I know a lot of you are probably like, you don't know shit about how the business works, but we're the audience. It shouldn't matter to us how the business works. What matters to us is the final product that gets put in our lap. This final product that is constantly pretty blatantly trying to trick kids into giving money. When you as a video game company are having to defend selling your loot boxes to kids in court by saying this isn't gambling, these are surprises. That's pretty fucked up. We're so lucky to have the games that we have. We're really fortunate that technology has gotten to the point where I can see LeBron James's rear delts popping out when he's taking a free throw, or that we get to experience like this super slow-mo replays, the cool tracking stuff. I was really heartened when I played the show 24 the other day because they've got all this cool archival historical footage in there and these modes where you can play as classic players. It's clear that the people directly making this stuff are still really passionate about what they're doing. It's just the overall structure and business models that are kind of fucking things up.
You ruined it.
I don't think all is lost here. I think that as long as we still have people that are passionate, we're still going to get games that play well. And ultimately, all of these games play amazingly. NBA 2K24, FC 24, the show. I'm not really too much of a Madden expert, so let me know below if all the anger is kind of centered around the business model stuff or if there's also problems with the gameplay.
So instead, watch the footwork here. Both players, we start to slide backwards together because the game is searching for an animation to branch. It knows I can't do anything.
I guess all I'm trying to say here is that I miss a more innocent time when we didn't feel like we're being nickeled and dimed at every turn. When we wouldn't have to feel scared that we were going to lose access to our single player career modes. And also when we didn't feel like attention had been taken away from that single player career mode to pump all the resources into the mode that makes all the money.
Literally every time you launch the game, you get an Ultimate Team advertisement that forces you into the mode if you aren't paying attention. Because why? Because fuck you, give me money. That's why.
I think sports games used to be awesome. I think they still can be. There's still so many moments in these modern games that give me so much hope for the future of this genre. So rather than ending this negatively, I'd rather end it by saying that I think there's hope. And in the meantime, we can always go back to the old stuff. We can play some Mario Sports, some Sonic Sports, some NHL Hits, some old FIFAs, some old PGAs. And as a final thought, I'm not sure I'll ever make another video about sports games ever again. So here is footage of pretty much every single sports game I've ever played in my entire life. Let me know below if there's any of your favorites in here. Enjoy. Thanks for watching my video, everyone. I really appreciate it. I know this format was a little bit different today. I just wanted to do a different type of video that would let me talk more about something really broad and general and less about a specific game or a specific game series. I'm really curious for your feedback. Let me know below if you'd like to see more videos like this that are a bit more broad, or if you prefer the more kind of directed, specific who's this guy stuff. If you've enjoyed the video you've seen here today, you'll probably like this one here as well. So check that out if you've got a moment. Give this one a like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. But my name's Sam. That's all I've got for today, and I'll see you soon.